What we're seeing here is a very simple and intuitive trainees list that what kept us as guide in the designing of the app is to make it very, very simple for the therapist at the clinic to do very few clicks in order to go inside a training or a game or an assessment. So here you can see the list of patients. Easily can add one. And if you want, you can just, if you can on the upper left, to be trained as a guest, and then the data will not be saved. Let's take done, for instance. And now you can see the main three sections that we have for the app. We have the strength and flexibility that is based on this motion sensor. All the app is based on this motion sensor. The strength and flexibility, we're using it as a wearable using a Velcro strap. The second one is balance, where the sensor is being placed inside the balance board. And the last one is cycling. The cycling allows us to take any stationary bike and by using this sensor as wearable to make it smart and engaging. We will pick the balance. As you can see, you are instructed to take the sensor and place it inside the board. All of our sections are built out of three main parts: test for evaluation, training for specific training programs, and games for engagement. If we will go for the test, you can see that on the balance sections, we have two standard tests, one for both feet and one for right versus left. We will do it in a second. Or that I can create a custom test as much according to both feet or to the right feet, static or dynamic, the difficulty level, and start it. But we want to go to the standard test. Now the patient is standing on the balance board and looking at the screen. He's got a very simple task to control the white ball and keep it inside the green area. The first part of the test is the static balance test. So the target is staying static, and we're measuring the abilities for 15 seconds, sorry. Again, just by one click, and you can start the session or to end the session as a therapist with a very quick evaluation. We did the static part. Everything is being accompanied by text, by voice, and by the figure on the left. Sometimes it's an animation, and sometimes just a static image. When we do the static balance test, we are testing all the sides of the balance from left to right, anterior, posterior, and mediolateral. And now, if you can see, we're less than 1 minute on the app, and we already have results for the test. Now we can see the score, how much time he was inside the target. On the static, he had 70%, on the dynamic, 91%. And we can also see the movement area. For instance, I can assume that this specific patient had some issue with putting his weight on the left leg. For some reason, the most of the time of the activity is the center and the right. It was much more comfortable on that side. And even when moving up and down, it was very, very little. You can see at the bottom, there is the numbers of what was the range for medial lateral for 11 millimeter at the graph. And this data is being saved. The next time he will do a test, it will be collected, and we will see the progress along the rehabilitation test. What was the score, and if he managed to change his anterior, posterior, or medial lateral range at both of them. So this was for the test. Now we go to the second part for training. On the training, the same thing. We have preset programs that I can just pick the patient's ability, if he can stand on one leg and one on the floor, or with both legs on the balance, or if he's an athlete and he can stand on a single leg. Let's take the both legs, 6 minutes workout. You can see that it's already built. Press in start, and immediately you got a 6-minute exercise for the patient to do at the clinic. Now, what is so unique about this balance training? It's not only the visual feedback. And why is that? Because when you're standing on an unstable device, the body balance system very quickly gets you into a balanced situation. At the moment that you are balanced, your proprioception system works much, much slower. It works faster when you challenge it. That's why physical therapists, when you are doing exercise on balance board, they will try to make you distractions. They will send you a ball to catch and throw it far away from you. So you will have to reach out with your hand. This is shaking your center of balance. Or that they will tell you to lift your hands up, also a higher center of balance. And they will need to keep on doing it in order to stimulate your proprioception system. What we got here is that the application, while you need now to keep track of the target while your hands are here at the front, the proprioception system is working in a very, very high pace, which makes the standing on the unstable device much more efficient as training. So this is the entire principle about using the app and the biofeedback. And very comfortable that you can simply set a training for 6 or 8 or 10 minutes and let your patient do the workout for a longer time. The third part will be the games. We got a variety of games that can fit all ages. Let's take, for instance, this crazy snowboard. And now the patient that stands on the balance board, he's got a mission. He's got a mission to go through 10 pairs of flag just by balancing. And at a moment, this balance board that was a training tool becomes a game. It becomes like a controller. So you need to control your body and the balance, and you all 100% focus on the screen and on your succession at the game. All the games are built with a engagement level that you will have a goal. For instance, this game, you have over 20 levels that you will need to finish one in order to get to the other one. Other games that we will see, you will have the score table that you can see how high you got so far along all the other patients at the clinic. So you will have a challenge to compete. And you can see at clinics that when people are standing on this, they are suddenly forget about the pain that is keep on bugging and keep on preventing patients from moving. Because they keep saying, my leg hurts, my knee hurts, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. We're always looking for distractions in order to keep them moving, because we know that movement is the key for success when it comes to rehabilitation. So the games have a crucial part in that, and the feedback that they're getting for success, and their focus on achieving the goal. So this is just one of them. There are other games with a more simple graphic, but if we'll take this one, for instance, it's got a very, very simple graphic. Some say that it can fit maybe a more adult population. And now we just see a simple task. Take the take the ball from the left side and putting it on the hole on the right. Another feature that we added recently is a multiplayer. I don't know if it fits your audience, but it's something that is very nice to see. We are allowing on the same tablet to add up to 4 balance boards to compete at once. So I'm just connecting now 3 more sensors. And now I have all of the sensors. Let's get done. This one. And this one. And then when we do the play, we can go to training, for instance. Let's take the preset program. And now the same exercise is going to be performed by 4 different boards. So they're going to compete each other on how much time each one manage to stay inside the green area, and they will see in the end the results and can compare, and the same for games. So the next part is, as you say, was the wearable. So we are taking out the same sensor that we had, and we're taking it out of the board, and we're using 3 lengths of a Velcro strap that can attach to any part of the body. The short one for your wrist, the mid size for the hip, and the long one for the chest. From the principle of keeping things very simple, we already created goniometer at the main page just by entering without doing anything. I can take the sensor, attach it to the
Chest.
chest. Yes, thank you. To the chest band, and now you can see on the right goniometer that while I'm tilting to one side, it goes with me. And if you just want to give a very, very quick setup, you're saying, okay, this is your starting position. We set it. Now I want you to move, let's say, around 30 degrees. That's it. And now this is your target. And you let your patient trying to do as many repetitions as you can with an instant feedback of this confetti. There is also a very nice sound to it. This is just a very basic. Sometimes therapists that don't want to build smart games and smart training programs, just do that, that's enough. Same thing for the other one is for measuring the other side. Let's say I'm starting here, lifting my hand up, and now I got a new range of motion target. So this is just very nice basic one. And of course, as we say in the balance, we have evaluation that we call test. You have the body chart on the left so you can filter which part you want to work on. Let's take the shoulder, for instance. Let's take the abduction. I'm doing it on my left side. I can add a pain and fatigue questionnaire if I want, or to decide I don't want to see it. And we're doing a very, very quick calibration, attaching the sensor. Now we're doing starting the movement to getting the vector of the motion. The sensor is calibrated, and again, in less than 15 seconds, we're already inside the range of motion test. The therapist can stand next to the patient and tell him if he did good or not. And then we say, now try to do it a bit higher, a bit higher. Let's see how fast you can go. More. Excellent. We're pressing end, putting in how painful it was and how tired I am. And you're getting an immediate analysis of your movement with the maximum range of motion. You can also see graphs that shows you how the motion was built, how much time it took to it, and if he was dropping it at the end. All of this data is being saved for the patient's data can be exported at his dashboard. We will see it later at the end. For training, again, we can filter by the part of the body that we want to work on. Let's go for, we have here the preset programs. All of these are already been done. And we have custom programs. If I want to create a new program, all I need to do is to pick the exercises that I wanted to work with. Let's go for the wrist this time. I can add tools. If I want to add band, I can choose the range of motion, how many repetitions, how many sets I want them to do, add to protocol, and another one. Let's filter by the wrist. Let's do this one. Add to protocol. This way I'm building up my training. There is also an option to go to the preset protocols. Let's go for a meniscectomy first stage. We select it. You can see already all the exercises here, and I can simply edit their range of motion values. I can choose from the buttons, or I can set one myself if I want to change it for something specific. 0 to 80. Save it, and I can save it as my own. When we go to start, we have two options. One to do it with gaming feedback and one to do it with goniometer. The goniometer we already saw at the test, so it's similar, but I will show you just in order for you to see the range. So let's say that now I need to do a squat. The same thing, to do a calibration. And going back up, calibration is done. And now you will see that on the goniometer there is a green range. This is the range that the patient needs to reach in order to complete and to count the repetitions. On the right side, you can see the animation that shows how to perform. Under it, the number of repetitions. Every time I reach the threshold, a repetition will be counted. Let's see, and when I'm done, we'll stop it here in the middle. Back. And all the data is being saved. And the last part is the games. You can either choose a training program to do it with gamified, or you can just choose, let's do a game. Let's take the submarine, for instance. Let's have the flexion. Again, I'm choosing whatever parameters I want to do. Let's do it from 0 to 90. Again, a short calibration. And now, by lifting up my hand, I'm controlling the submarine, and I need to collect the collectibles from the bottom of the range and all the way up to the range. Now, if you see that it's too easy for the patient to do it, you have scrollers on the side. So let's lift it. Now, in order to get to the upper ones, I need to go to a higher level in order to reach it. I can also modify the speed. I can decide whether I want to have bombs that are going to be obstacles or not, depending on the experience. And the same as all the training programs and the tests, all the data, as you will see soon, is being saved. And I can see how the patient was doing. During the game. So, on the cycling, the idea is very similar to, which one of them here? To the wearable. This time we're attaching the sensor to on our hip Velcro strap. And the idea is the same. On the main board, you already have this speedometer. While you are cycling, it measures the movement of the sensor and it calculates your RPMs. When we go to tests at cycling, we have two types of tests. One will be maximal speed. So you give the patient a certain amount of time. Let's go 30 seconds for the demonstration. The resistance here, it's important to know, it's not related to the app, just for the data. So if you have cycling a stationary bike and they have their own difficulty levels, you can put it on 2, and then it will be set as 2 for the records. Next time you can increase it, but it doesn't affect anything at the app. Now I've got 30 seconds to go as fast as I can. Now, when I start, so you will see when I go down, there is the thin dial. It shows the maximum that I already reached and my current speed according to how much I'm cycling. Now you can see there are a few more seconds. Let me try and do it a little bit faster in order to get as much as I can. Final seconds, let's go over the 80. Okay. And you've managed. And again, you got a full analysis of the RPM. The green one shows the average speed, the orange one, the maximum, and it's been sorted. Second test that we have is a constant load. You're giving your patient a task to stay at a certain range, let's say between 40 and 70 RPM for a period of how many minutes you want to choose. Now you see in the goniometer there are 2 points. One is the lowest one that you need to go over, and the second one is the one that you don't want to pass over. And And you have been requested to stay at this stage for the entire part and to measure if you're able to keep this constant load for the same time. The training part, again, we are setting out how much time we want the training to be performed. Let's say for, again, 1 minute to see. And when we go, we have 3 types of visual feedback. The first one is speedometer, as we just saw, with the target. The next one is going to be a game. Let's take the same game as the cycling, that now, in order to get the upper collectibles, I need to go up to the target as was defined. So I need to go 60 RPMs or over. If I go below, then I will collect less coins and will have a lower score. So this is one type of feedback. And the second type of feedback will be videos. We have 3 types of videos. Let's say that I want to go for a city ride. And now I have the goniometer on the left side. You can see that there is the same green dot that I need to go over it. And there's a corresponding video that takes me traveling. All that can be done in order to keep the patient focused and motivated by a different thing and to get him to do the exercises as needed. There is also a video at the forest and another one at the road. So these are the 3 sections that we have on the app of the BoBo Pro 2.0. Here on the upper right, you can see the stats, the statistics. So each patient has his own statistics. It comes as this calendar. Then you can go between the month. Each of the exercises that was performed is saved here. We can go to the sessions, filter it by the balance. All the data is being tracked. So we can go back and see it. And you can also go and export and send all the data of the patient or a specific one or just for one section if we want just for the balance. All of it has been summarized and been sent to the patient. Let's do. I will do one export, and when it will come, I will share it with you on the other screen. Processing and send. And this is basically the BoBo Pro 2.0.